ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोहग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे। Yesterday we were seeing Guna Upasamhara given by Bhagavan Vedavyasji. The context was Purupakshi asked a question. How can you talk about affirmating attributes and negating attributes of Brahman in Nirguna Brahma Upasana? One side you say, I am meditating on Nirguna Brahma, Brahma with Brahman without attributes. Nirguna Brahma. How? By talking about Nirguna Brahma, by indicating that Nirguna Brahma, by some gunas, by affirmating gunas, and some negating gunas. Like what is that Nirguna Brahma? Sat Chitta Ananda Swarupaha. Affirmating gunas. Negating gunas are what? Astulam, Ananu. It is not small. It is not gross, etc. The negating attributes. When the Purupakshi asked this question, how can, to Vijayaranya Muni, how can you these two contradicting things I was speaking about, एक और निर्गुण ब्रह्म कहते हो, दूसरे और गुणों की बात कहते हो. So Vijayaranya Muni said, why are you asking me this question? Ask Vyasacharya ji, because in Brahma Sutra he spoke about it. So Gunopasamhara Visa, for contemplation. Then Purupakshi himself comes out with an answer. Yes. In that Guna Samhara, Upasamhara, that portion of Brahma Sutras, Pada, Guna Upasamhara Pada, Vyasa Bhagavan did not speak about such upasanas, Saguna upasanas, Saguna Brahma upasanas, where, such as Surya Narayana, see the face of Surya Narayana, the Surya disk, and see that entire rays or kirana are called like a beard. And then thinking that way, Purushakara, then you meditate on that. So this kind of things are not given by Vyasa Bhagavan. And these attributes are only to know, to reveal Brahman, and they are dropped after getting revealed after revealing the Brahman. So Purupakshi came out with his own answer. Then Vijayaranya Muni said, you are correct, you are right, be happy with it, we agree with it, be satisfied. So up to that we have saw. So therefore, ultimately, Nirguna Brahma Upasana what? Vidheya gunas and Nisheda gunas. Vidheya gunas are affirmating gunas, Nisheda gunas are negating gunas. They both come under what? Swarupa guna. Swarupa guna. Other gunas are called Prasiddha. Prasiddha means which can be seen, eyes, by eyes, ears, and nose, eyes we can see with Pratyaksha. Saguna Brahma Upasana. All those qualities we speak about Saguna Brahmopasana, they are called Prasiddha Gunas. Like Suranarayana, example we saw in Upasana. And other one is what? That, popular, that is Swarupa Gunas are there, Swarupa Guna. So Swarupa Gunas, they can be combined in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Vidheya Guna, affirmating Gunas of Brahman, stating Brahman as Sat, Chit, Ananda, etc. Nisheda Gunas, negating qualities of the Brahman indicated by negating certain qualities. They are called Nisheda Gunas. So Nirguna Brahma Upasana can be combined in these two kinds of gunas, such as Nisheda Guna and Vidheya Guna. They can be combined in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So that's what we saw. So these are all contemplation. More about it we will see. Now one question, Pura Pakshi asked a question. In 72nd verse, 72. Gunanam lakshakatvena natattventah praveshanam iti chedastvameve asti iti chedastve stvevameva brahma tattvamupaasyatam iti chedastvevameva brahma tattvamupaasyatam. So here in 72nd verse, it says, Purapakshi says that, sir, if you say, Purapakshi is asking, if you say the implied attributes, that's all those indirect indications, indirectly what the Brahman has been spoken about. Through gunas, indirectly. When we speak about it, they do not mean that they are natu antah praveshanam. Na tatve antah praveshanam. These gunas actually do not enter into the true nature of Brahma. Tattva is the nature of Brahma. These gunas do not enter into the nature of Brahma. See, means what? Whatever nature of Brahman, Sat, Chit, Ananda, whatever gunas you speak about it, they actually, Brahman cannot be, these gunas do not actually enter into Brahman also. Then we'll see explanation more clearly, it will come. That means what? We see, for example, Brahman is all blissful. We say Brahman is Ananda Swarupa. Now, why do we say Brahma is Ananda? Because in compared to Vyavahara, where we are all in Dukkha, sorrow, so we say Brahman is Ananda. And here in this Vyavahara, everything is changing. So we are actually affected by change. Therefore, Brahman, I call it as what? Sat. A pure existence, Trikala Abhadita Vastu. Not disturbed, not is there no change in all three periods of time. And here there is kind of Jadatva, Ajnana, all that. So we call Brahman as Chit Swarupa, consciousness. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, these three words we are using only with respect to Vyavahara. Therefore, even when Brahman, Sat, Chit, Ananda also doesn't there. So they don't enter the nature of Brahman. Iti chet, that's what it says. So if you say that implied attributes, all indirect attributes, they don't mean that they are really associated with Brahman. If you say so, Vijarinu iti chet astu evameva astu. Let them be so. That is true. Agreed. These qualities, what we are speaking about, they are actually not entering or so Brahman is not associated with them or not entering into Brahman. Your Brahman cannot be spoken about. Idam itham, this is this. We cannot talk about Brahman like that. So, astu, let them be so. Evameva Brahma tattvam upasyatam. So, Vijayamani says, thus you meditate on Brahman. Meaning what? Let us do upasana on Brahman in this way. That Brahman is untouched by any qualities, any gunas. So here also Purvapakshi visualized an answer question and he himself comes with an answer. We can as it is say like that. So Prasiddha gunas cannot coexist with the Nirguna Brahma. Prasiddha gunas are Saguna gunas. Brahma, Saguna Brahma gunas. They cannot coexist in Nirguna Brahma. Okay. So now Purvapakshi is raising question. If you say that even the Swarupa Guna also, you say can coexist and you cannot given any logical support for which Vidyaranya gives the answer. He says, even Swarupa Guna such as Sat, Chit, Ananda are words only used for Nirguna Brahma, as I said, only from the Vyavaharika Prapancham. But Adhisthana Brahma is there, no, Adhisthana Nirguna Brahma is there. To that Adhisthana Nirguna Brahma, we give various names. From the standpoint of Adhyastha, superimposed. What is superimposed? All that opposite of it. Like, rope we call as Adhisthana, Ashraya, substratum. Of what? Snake. How can you call rope as substratum for a non-existing snake? We call rope as substratum only when we are seeing the snake, which is mithya. So as long as for me mithya snake is visible, so from the standpoint of that experience called mithya snake, I call that substratum as rope as substratum. But the moment mithya snake is removed, rope is rope. It is never substratum to anybody. So from the standpoint of empirical practice, existence or Vyavaharika Prapancha, Brahman is called as absolute existence. Brahman is absolute. Why? Because from the relative point of view, which is not absolute. So when the Prapancha is negated, like snake is negated, Brahman cannot be called as Adhisthana also. Adhisthana is suppose, substratum, status. The Adhisthana status also, substratum also. So that time Brahman cannot be told as Sat, Chit, Ananda also. So therefore Swarupa Gunas are only indicators of Brahman. They are meant to reveal Brahman as Adhisthana of the Jagat, which is Mithya. So Nirguna, why do we say Nirguna? The standpoint of what? In Nirguna also word used with respect to Guna only, no? The word Guna. There is something Sa Guna. So with respect to Gunas, which are existing in relative world, we are calling that Brahman. By negating Gunas is called Nirguna. When we negate all these Gunas, we call that Brahman as Nirguna. But actually, Gunas themselves are not real. They are all superimposed mithya. Then we even to call Brahman as Nirguna, it also becomes irrelevant. Evam eva pasyatam. So Advaita word is there. Advaita word is only with respect to Dvaita. But Dvaita Prapancha removed, Brahman cannot be called as Advaita also. So these gunas, Satta, Chitta, Ananda, Swarupa gunas, whatever we spoke about Brahman, they are spoken only from the standpoint of Vyavahara. That Brahman is what cannot be talked about. That can't be talked about. That is there, that's it. It is, how do you say it is there? Because you are there. No, I am is there. Changeless I am. That's how we should do upasana. That Brahman is beyond. So in this way, what we have discussed so far, this way think about Brahman. So when we start doing inquiry in this way, tapasya, antakarana becomes purified. The past mistakes and all that, antakarana gets cleared, purified. When antakarana becomes purified, mind settles in meditation. Meaning, this is meditation. Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Then Nirguna Brahma Jnanam Jnana Vritti takes place. But once Jnanam takes place, it will never go. So, similar thoughts are given in next sloka also. Ananda divirastula dibhischatmatra lakshitaha akhandai karasasoham asmityevam upasate. So Ananda dibhi astula dibhi atma ascha atma astula dibhischa atma atra lakshitaha. So, self is what indicated by affirmative qualities, attributes like what Ananda, etc. So, Nirguna Brahma Upasana can be practiced, is to be practiced doing what? Upasamhara, Guna Upasamhara. Upasamhara means Sanchayanam, collection. So, by combining Vidheya Guna and Nisheda Guna, affirmating attributes and negating attributes of Brahman, we should contemplate. Nirguna Atma, Akhanda Eka Rasaha, Akhandaha, homogeneous, Ekaha, one without a second, Rasaswarupam, Rasogam Hevayam Labdvanandi Bhavati. Rasa is Ananda Swarup. So, Akhanda Eka Rasaha. There is no division in Brahman. We say na Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Bhed. No type of difference is there. Any differences are going three types, Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata. So one tree is there, animals are there, Vijatiya Bhed. A tree is there, trees are all there. Tree are all called Vriksha Jati, Pashu Jati. Vriksha Jati, Pashu Jati are totally different. This is called Vijati, not same Jati. Vijatiya Bhed. One type of Bhed. Like Brahman, is there anything other Vijatiya Brahma? No. So Vijatiya Bhed is not. Sajatiya Bheda is what? Within the plant kingdom, Guava tree, mango tree, peepal tree, neem tree, so many trees are there, plants are there. They are different from each other within the kingdom, plant kingdom. Like that, is there any many multiple Brahmans? Such same jati but different Brahmans? No. Sajatiya Bheda also is not there. Then within the same tree, you find Swagata Bheda. Branch is not fruit, fruit is not leaf, leaf is not trunk, etc. Within Brahman, is it having many parts in Brahman? No. So therefore, Akhandaha, meaning what? Without any Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Bheda. Astuladi is negating. It is not gross, not subtle, not big, not small, not long, not short. Upanishad speaks about it. I think we saw Yajnavalkya giving in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad to Gargi so many 23 negative attributes he gave. In Brahman indicated by negative attributes. So these are all, when we contemplate on this, the nature of Brahman is like that. Just a thought every day for some time. So that Nirguna Brahma, when it is Akhanda, when I say it, listen carefully. When I say it is Akhanda, homogeneous, there are no parts in it. So can that be different from me? Already we have negated all kinds of differences, isn't it? Swajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata, Bheda, Rahita is not there. So when all the three differences are removed in Brahman, so how can I exist outside Brahman, as other than Brahman? I am not Vijati to Brahman, I am not Sajati to Brahman, and I am not any part of Brahman. I am Brahman. So here he says, Akhandekarasaha soham. This is a very mantra. Soham, soham, soham. Ahamasmi Brahma, ahamasmi. Sohamasmi Brahma, ahamasmi. Ahamevaham jam maham jo miswaha. I offer this ahankara into my bigger eye. Sohamasmi Brahma, ahamasmi. Saha ahamasmi. That Brahman is me. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. That Brahman is me. Soham. So ahamasmi, so ahamasmi, Brahma ahamasmi. That Brahma, so Brahma ahamasmi. That Sa Brahma ahamasmi. So ahamasmi iti eva upasate. Because when you think about it, in that Brahman there is no differences. It is homogeneous, Ananda Swarupaha. Then how can I exist separated from Brahman? Therefore, this little I, which is feeling that it is separate from the totality, is a myth. This ego only creating division. So we should dissolve it. So up to this shloka, 73, Vidyaranya Muni, he has established what? Nirguna Brahma Upasana. We have been studying this from 53rd verse up to 73rd. Now, another topic is taken up. In this topic, we study what is the subtle difference between Nirguna Brahma Upasana and Jnana. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, Nirguna Brahma Upasana. What is the difference? So, because technically speaking, both look alike, Upasana and Jnana. So, what is the difference? He speaks about it. Bodopastyor visheshakah iti cheduchyate shruno vastutantro bhavet bodha kartutantram. This is vastutantra, kartrutantra. These two words are very important. Bodha upastyoho visheshaha. Upastana and bodha. Bodha means knowledge. Upasana, upasti, upasana. In between, visheshaha ka iti chet. If you ask what is the difference between the jnanam, knowledge, and upasana, meditation, shrunu, uchyate shrunu. Now I shall speak about it. Please listen to it. Vastutantro bhavet bodha. The knowledge actually depending on the object. Vastu jnanam. Mane gaining the knowledge of the object as whatever object is, as it is to understand the object. This vastu is there. If you get the knowledge of the object as it is without your prameya, without your projections, without your judgment, without your little I being involved in it, not your analysis, your perception, your judgment about the object, that all depends upon you. Kartrutantra. Upasana is Kartrutantra. Jnanam is Vastutantra. So this is a very important topic now, which we have to start. So, what is happening now? What is Upasana? Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Because up to here we saw Nirguna Brahma Upasana is possible. Purvapakshi was objecting to it. Vidyaranya Muni proved it. Nirguna Brahma Upasana exists and it is possible. How to do it also he said. What is Upasana? Upasana is vritti avritti, repetition of the thought. So what is the thought of Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana? The Upasaka will repeat the thought that Nirguna Brahma aham asmi. See, soham asmi iti evam upasate. Previous sloka. That Nirguna Brahma aham upasate. Upasate means the thought is repeated. This is the vritti of Upasaka. So that Brahman is me. He is not yet convinced. He has not realized it. But he has a faith. So upasana works out on faith on the Guru and the scripture. So upasana vritti is understood. Upasana is what? I have not realized the truth. I heard it from my Guru, from Shastras. I have faith in my Guru and Shastra. But I do not have that jnana vritti. Knowledge I did not get. Jnana means anubhav, vijnanam. Not, I did not get it. So I am repeating it, meditating on it. Soham asmi, upasana it is. Every day they do upasana, remembering the Brahman I am. Soham upasana. So in upasana, what is there? Thought is repeated. Based on what? Shraddha. On whom? Guru and Shastra. Now, what is the jnana vritti of a jnani? What is knowledge vritti? Because we saw any jnanam also takes place as a vritti only, thought only. But this jnana vritti burns all ajnana. There is no more doubts. Once jnana vritti takes place, there are no more doubts that I am Brahman. There is no doubt. So that is called jnana vritti, doubtless knowledge. Doubtless knowledge is what? Jnana vritti. So, Nirguna Brahma Jnani, we should talk now. What is the difference between Nirguna Brahma Jnani? Because Nirguna Brahma Jnani is what? Jnanam. What is Jnanam? Jnana also vritti. What is Upasana? Upasana also vritti. Then what kind of thought? The difference between the thought of a Brahma Jnani, Nirguna Brahma Jnani, and difference between and the thought of Upasaka, what is the difference? But both he also says, I am Brahman. Who? Jnani. I am Akhande Karasaha. He says. Upasaka also repeats the same mantra. Both are thoughts only. So, vritti of Upasaka, vritti of a Jnani, both exactly the same. Jnani also says, I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. Upasaka also repeating Akhande Karasam, Soham, he repeats. They both are vrittis. Upasana also is a vritti, Jnanam also is a vritti. Why give two names? So, what is the difference between Jnana vritti and Upasana vritti? See, friends, such a clarity we get in the scriptures, I tell you. If you remember, I gave some example. In one of these classes, maybe in 9th chapter only. For some reason, somebody has forgotten himself to be a man. He forgot for some reason. So many stories are there, Like king lost his son while he was young. He grew among the animals. He behaved like an animal only. He thought he's one among them. So this man has forgotten himself to be man. And he forgets always that he is a man. And behaves like an animal, suppose. Suppose you say, as maybe crawling like an animal, four-legged. So what he was told? He was told, Bhaiya, you are not animal, you are not four-legged. See, you are like similar to me. I am standing on two legs. You can also stand. You can walk like me. You are a man. You are not an animal. So repeat this thought. So he does upasana. I am man. I am not animal. Because so convinced, wrong knowledge he had got now that he is animal. So to negate that knowledge, he started contemplating. Repeat upasana. I am man. I am man. Remembering himself, I am man. Even while doing I am man, is remembering, at that time of repetition, is not convinced. He is not convinced that he is a man, though he is a man. If he is already a man, why should he repeat? Because he has not convinced himself to be a man, he was asked to repeat. So he is repeating, I am man, I am man, I am man. Out of that repetition, one day, Jnana Vritti took place. He realized now, I am man. There afterwards, he says, I am man. But there's a quite difference. Earlier, I am a man, repetition. Now he says, I am man. Now he's claiming. He's claiming, he's declaring out of experience that I am man. He's not repeating. Like Upasaka. He may repeat, I am man, I am man. He may claim, he may dance, I am man. In Taittiriya Upanishad, he sings, no? Ah, oha, oha, ho. Ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam. Like this sings. Ahagguslok, akrut, ahagguslok, akrut, ahagguslok, akrut. All that, ahamasmi pur, all that he sings. He claims. So this is the fundamental difference between Upasaka and Jnani. So when thought rises, one should assess whether I am a Upasaka or a Jnani. When conviction is not there, you repeating, I am man, I am man, I am man. He says, one day I will be convinced. One day I become man. What one day you become man, you are already man. But I'm not realized. But once Jnana, I got it. Then I can say, I am Nitya Mukta Atma. Then you will drop, I am a sadhaka, I am upasaka, I want one day realize Brahman. Once you establish sadhana is not required, becomes irrelevant, I am already man. What kind of repetition I'm talking? So I am not repeating, I am a man only for realizing to be man. I know I am a man. So I am claiming, I'm enjoying that I'm a man. I am no more a sadhaka. So that is the difference between these two. So technically what? If Aham Brahmasmi is a jnana vritti, it's a Vastu Tantra. Meaning what? Aham Brahmasmi is Jnanam. Meaning Aham Brahmasmi is a fact to me. It is a reality to me. I am not projecting, I am not bringing my ego. I am as a sadhaka, as a upasaka, I am yet to realize Brahman, which is away from me. All these thoughts are there in upasaka, but not in jnani. So when it is a fact for me, it is called Vastu Tantra. It is depending, that knowledge is depending on the object as it is, to understand object as it is. To Brahman, to understand Brahman as it is means what? To understand Brahman as I. See, how can I realize Brahman when it is other than me? If it is other than me, I can never realize it as I. That is not realization. Suppose sweet is there. Sweet is outside you. When sweet is outside you, you can speak about sweet, its color, dimension, but you are not enjoying it. Only when I put it in my mouth, enjoy the sweetness, then I realize sweetness. Then when sweet becomes one with me, then I am experiencing the sweet. As long as sweet outside me, I am not experiencing it. Think about it. Therefore, Nirguna Brahma, Vastu Tantro Bhavet Bodha Kartrutantam Upasana. And Upasana is what? Depending upon the individual's visualization. I am visualizing it. I am imagining first. I have faith on Guru, so I am saying Brahman is me. I am repeating the thought. As Upasaka, I am not realizing it as a fact. I am thinking that one day I will realize Brahman. So it depends on his sadhana. Karta, doer's will. You should repeat it. I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Soham, 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 Soham. And remember, without Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Jnanam cannot take place. Upasana is a necessary step. First Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Saguna Brahma Upasana, then Nirguna Brahma Upasana, deeper meditations, and then Nirguna Brahma Jnanam will take place. In this process, we have to purify ourselves. Be kind to all, show compassion. These are all preliminaries. Later on, they express very naturally in the case of a jnani. But the steps are this: Karma Yoga, Saguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. These are the steps. Hope you got Vastu Tantram and Kartru Tantram. This is a difference. Upasaka also repeats, says Aham Brahmasmi or Soham. Jnani also says Aham Brahmasmi Soham, but difference is very vast difference. For the first one, Upasaka, it's a practice to be realized in future. For Jnani, it is a fact and he is enjoying and declaring it. Like Astamalaka declared to Adi Shankaracharya, when he asked, you, who are you? Swarupo Hamatma, he says. He never spoke. Suddenly he started speaking. I am that Atman. Hasta Amalaka. Like amla fruit in the hand, palm. Very clearly experienced. Similarly, he got that experience. So 75th verse we'll see. Vichara jayate bodho anichayam na nivartayet sotpatti matrat samsare dahatyakila satyatam. Vicharat bodho jayate. Vicharat bodho jayate. Very clear. How is this jnana vritti is created? Upasana is born out of Shraddha, Visa, faith in Shastra and Guru. He has not realized the truth. He cannot, left it to himself, he will doubt. How can I be Brahman? I am an individual suffering physically, mentally, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryas. So much things are happening. How can I be Brahman? The Guru says, forget about all those things, but you're actually Brahman, you are. It is the past. And how come the Bodha is created? Vicharat jayate bodha. The knowledge of Brahman rises from inquiry. Mahavakya vichara, inquiry. Anichamyam na nivartayet. Once you get knowledge. So what is vichara here? Shravana, manana alone. Shravana, mananam, if you do regularly, it will generate that vritti, jnana vritti. Jnana vritti is generated in what? Shravana, manana, nidhi, all that. Upasana cannot produce this jnanam. Upasana is a karma. Nirguna Brahma Upasana also is a type of karma. It will produce punya. That punya will remove all pratibandhakas, all obstacles are removed, and then the jnanam is created. After listening to the Shravana and Manana Guru, therefore the jnanadevatu kaivalyam. And it also says Shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. Shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. Think. So by listening and mananam, as we listen carefully to Guru, and while listening to Guru with full concentration only, as Guru speaking about the tattva, the tattva manifests in the antakarana of the student. So that jnanam is produced. So he says what? Vichara jayate bodha. That's inquiry. Inquiry from Sravanam, Mananam, etc. And he says, Anichamyam namyorte. Once you get the knowledge, even though you don't want it to be there, it will not go. Once I know I am Brahman, Jnanam, even I don't want to be Brahman, I cannot go that I will be Brahman only. I am understood, I realize once I Jnanam I get, it will never go. It always there in the mind. And I need not entertain the thought also. Upasaka should repeat the thought. But once I get the Jnanam, I don't need to entertain a thought. How many do we always do japa that I am a man, I am a woman, etc.? No. I know I am man, and there is no question of repetition is necessary. So once the knowledge is gained, yam na nivartayet. Swa utpatti matrat samsare dahati. And what is the benefit of this? When the once the jnana vritti, what is jnana vritti? Whatever I am alone, I am Brahman. That's it. Then what is seen is mithya jagat. So only two things are there: drushya and druk. He says only two. I am there, and the entire Sushti is there. Other than me, there is nothing. Mithya, what I see, the duality is only Mithya. What is Satyam? I am Satyam. That's it. There is no third entity. There is no Ishvara other than me. There is no Brahman other than me. That is called highest Jnanam. That is the ultimate realization. Now for us, Ishvara is there. There's a Jagat is there. Jiva is there. Papa is there. Punya is there. Samsara is there. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all the three are there for us. Once the Jnani awakens, Jnani says, I am Brahman, and what is seen is only Jagat, Mithya, it is not real. That's it. So I am Atma, and other than me, everything is Anatma. I am Satyam, other than me, everything is Mithya. And once this Jnanam, Swa Utpatti Matrena, by the very birth of this knowledge, Samsare Dahati, Akhila Satyatam, all that, whatever is there, all that the Akila Satyata, whatever is the notion that it is all real, it all disappears. At the moment knowledge rises, at that moment only, at that instant only, I will realize this Jagat is what? Mithya. Here I recognize very clearly all this is nothing but a shadow. It is Mithya, illusion. Till then, it appears to be real. So, samsare dahati akilat satyam. Sautpatti matrat. By the very dawn of this realization, Satyatam, the reality which is attributed to the world, gets dissolved, burns away. Dahati burns away. तावता कृतकृत्यः सन् नित्यतृप्तिमुपागतः जीवन्मुक्तिमनुप्राप्य प्रारब्धक्षयमीक्षते. Tavata, then alone, thereafter. Tavata, by the very dawn of this knowledge, Krutakrutya San, one becomes fulfilled. There is nothing else to be done there. Whatever has to be done was done. Kruta krutya, krutam krutya. Everything, whatever has to be done, had to be done, was done. So rest of the life what is only just a play. Nothing he takes seriously. He is awakened to the dimension of consciousness. Fulfillment he takes. And he lives according to prarabdha. He waits for prarabdha to get over, destiny to get over. As per prarabdha, the body is subjected to pleasure and pain. Certain vasanas may get exhausted, but he will not identify with that also. As per prarabdha. And Nitya Trupti Upagata, and he gains Nitya Trupti, always, eternal, always contented. Nitya Trupti, everlasting contentment. Purna Trupti, Trupti Deepa Prakarana Visano. Real Trupti is when we know who we are. Thereafterwards, no regrets, no projects, no failures, no success, no goals, no ambitions. Everything is fulfilled. Then why do we live? Prarabdham. As per prarabdha is there, let the body live, continue to live as long as it lives. That's called Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti Manuprapya. Such a man becomes liberated in life, and having gained that freedom in life, while living itself, he is liberated. He is free, he is no more in bondage. No anxiety. Ever blissful. Sukha dukkhe samay krutva labha labho jaya jaya. All for him, it's all mithya only. So tavata means what? By mere realizing that this world is mithya. By moment we realize that this world is mithya, that moment we are fulfilled. Otherwise, when this world is real for me, and I struggle for contentment, but lead through all struggles of life. Once he becomes free from all troubles, no burdens, so enjoying that atmic state, he waits and prarabdha kshayamikshate. As per prarabdha, he lives life without demanding anything. Everything is mithya. What will ask mithya jagat? But he follows dharma, because to show others, to demonstrate others, he will follow dharma. Here we'll stop, and tomorrow we will see. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om.